Dean and Rector, honored guests, dear professors, dear administrative faculty, staff, and dear students, dear graduating students. It's a great honor and pleasure for me to be here tonight to represent IUKB and the Lemania group of schools from Switzerland. It's also a pretty hard task to replace our former academic dean, Dr. Chuck Dufault, who passed away last April. I'm not going to talk to you about the world financial crisis. Other people have done it much better than I could do it tonight. I'm going to talk to you from my heart. I remember 7 years ago when IUKB asked me to come to Tirana to give managerial accounting, I really wondered whether I wanted to come to Albania. I had heard and read so many strange things that had occurred during the former regime. I was wondering whether my students would understand English. I was wondering whether it would be safe to walk on the streets all by myself at night. I mean, all stupid cliches that people have when they have never been to a country or a foreign city. I decided to come anyway, thinking that it would be a new experience. And indeed, it was a new and great experience. The first person I met was a fantastic man, the late Dr. Gramos Pashko, who introduced me to the history and the story of his country. I then discovered extremely motivated and interested students who all spoke excellent English and were so eager to learn. I then discovered such friendly people, and I've also had the luck to become good friends with some wonderful families here in Tirana. I became a fan of Albania and have come back many, many times, always with great pleasure. I also had the chance of meeting on a plane one day His Excellency Prime Minister Sali Berisha, who was kind enough to spend some time with me. As I was complimenting him on the fantastic improvements that I had seen every time I came back to Tirana, I remember the so-called road between the airport and the highway 7 years ago, he very kindly said that it was up to him to compliment and thank me for coming to Albania to teach the future elite of the nation. Indeed, dear students, you are the future elite of the nation. You have chosen to study at University of New York in Tirana, which is, of course, the best business school in the country. You have worked hard, making a lot of sacrifices, spending many weekends in class and long hours in the evenings during the week after a full day of work. It has cost you, your family, or your employers a lot of money. Of course, education costs money, but ignorance can sometimes cost even more. As I told you from the very beginning, this MBA course is not going to make you a specialist in anything, but a fantastic generalist in business and management. Whatever problem you will be confronted with in your business life, you will know the answer. And if you don't remember the answer, you will know where to go and look for it. You are already or will be managers, and you know that the first responsibility of managers is to make decisions. And what you have learned during your MBA studies, marketing, accounting and finance, organizational behavior, ethics, human resource strategy, IT, knowledge management, legal, and so on, will enable you to make sound, reasonable, and fruitful decisions. And you know that whatever decision you make, be it in production, in marketing, in sales, finance, human resources, it will have an impact on your balance sheet, on your income statement, and on your cash. And you know that cash is king. But dear students, although your MBA studies will have given you a wonderful, fantastic basis for your business career, you must remember that it is not enough to be successful. You need many other things. You need to know your strengths and weaknesses. You need to know what you want to do in life. What are the main values for you in your personal and in your business life? You need to be creative and innovative. You need to be enthusiastic. You need to be able to be part of a team, to constantly learn, improve your knowledge, think positively, be constructive, open-minded, learn foreign languages. Learn to listen. Listening is very important. By the way, nature has given us 2 ears and 1 tongue, so we can listen twice as much as we speak. Learn to become not only a manager, but also a leader. Help others, help them to develop their qualities, their knowledge, their experience, and their strengths. Be kind. Kindness is a language that deaf people can hear and that blind people can see. But don't forget your personal life, your family, your friends, your beloved ones, your health. I would like to remind you the little lesson of philosophy that I taught you in class. It's the professor of philosophy at the end of his course who takes a glass jar and fills the jar with pebbles. And he asks the students, is the jar full? And the students say, yes, it is. So he picks a sack of gravel and he pours the gravel, and the gravel falls between the pebbles. And he says, is the jar full? And the students say, yes, we think it is full. So he takes a bag of sand and pours the sand in the jar. And of course, the sand goes in between the pebbles and the gravel. And he says, is the jar full? So the students are hesitant and they say, well, we don't really know. And the professor says, yes, it is full. But then he takes a couple of bottles of beer and pours the bottles of beer, and of course the beer is absorbed by the sand. And he says, is the jar full? And the students say, yes, we think it is full. And the professor of philosophy says, this jar is your life. If you put the pebbles first, and the pebbles represent all the futile things that you have in your life, no, I'm sorry, it's the opposite. If you put the sand, the pebbles are the most important things in your life. The gravel is the less important things, and the sand is really the other futile things. If you pour the sand first, of course you're going to fill the jar and you won't have time and space for the most important things in your life, which is your health, your job, your family, and so on. Okay, so never forget to put in your life first the most important things, your job, your family, your health. And then you put the other things. And all the students applaud him, and he says, that's my little lesson of philosophy. And then one of the students says, but Professor, why did you pour the 2 bottles of beer in the jar? He said, oh, thank you for asking the question. It shows that however full your life is, there's always room for a couple of beers. Life is not easy, but we only have one. So do everything to make it interesting, pleasant, productive, and joyful. Love, learn to love, and once you have learned to love, you have learned to live. Be happy in your personal life, be happy in your business career. If you are happy in your personal life, you will be happy in your business life, and vice versa. Congratulations, dear students. I was so pleased and proud. I was so pleased and proud to have you as my students. Good luck, be happy, faleminderit.
Thank you. Representing the master degree candidates of 2011 is the class valedictorian, Mr. Alci Blacco. Mr. Blacco graduates tonight with his master's in business administration banking